I was frustrated and let my emotions get the best of me in, before the New Year. It was actually on New Year's Eve in Toronto. We were down, 15, 17 points heading into the half, and that carried over into the second half where, wasn't acting like a 31-year-old. I was acting like a 13-year-old. So I ended up hitting the seat. I was screaming into a towel. I'd gone to coach and say, hey, just take me out so I can collect myself, cheer my teammates on. He came to me in the next time out, asked me, what I needed. I told him, hey, I just don't want to play selfishly. And, we came out there in the next unit, played great. And the rest of the game, I thought we played really well despite the score. So, that was that instance. Whatever talk of, shoot around the other day, me being pissed off and upset, I mean, sure I was about how the giving of a fine, not getting the fine, it was, how it was handled in telling me that I was fined. And I went in there and talked to Kobe about it in conversation. Came to the arena. Kobe and I were great. Gave him a pound right when I came in. There was no altercation. There was no screaming match. You can ask him. And that's what it was. So I was actually shocked when guys were telling me about the article and what had came out, and that's why afterwards I felt it was important to just post about me loving my teammates. Obviously, you kind of get blinded by a few things from a human standpoint, and I put the Joker face up there early in the morning because we were 10-24. It sucks, and then that carried over into the game. I'd heard about everything about 10 minutes before. I didn't know who it came from. It didn't come from me, and like I said, there wasn't anything that happened at shoot-around that warranted something like that. So I was upset. And then at the play call, right before the half, I thought that we would have seen a mismatch with myself and Chris Paul, at least in size perspective. I threw my hands up, and while that was childish, I let my emotions get the best of me, and that happens throughout the course of a season, especially when things don't go well. And for me to do it publicly like that was on me. So I got with Coach and Kobe, at the game a couple nights ago, and we just talked about, hey, we can't have that. It's a respect and empathy, going both ways. But that's on me. You guys know me by now. That's not me. And Kobe, Coach, they know that's not me. And my teammates, whether it's me or all of us, we ride or die with each other. So, that kind of explains the whole situation. And that's not going to happen moving forward. There will be some frustration. There will be some human moments where, it's out there on the floor. But I've told you guys all along, I read like a damn cheap novel, and I wear my emotions on my sleeve. But, I need to be better. The only thing to air out was my actions, on the court. And there was another play where it looked like I was, turned my back on the defense. But, on my grandmother's life, you can ask Deli. We thought that when Billy Donovan was walking towards half court, and then Schroeder had slowed up, we thought they were calling a timeout. Even Deli was like, that was a vet move. We should put that in. So, optics don't always tell. I mean, what it shows doesn't always tell the whole story. But no, I gotta definitely be better with my emotions. Obviously this has been extremely tough, especially with what our record indicates. But no, it was a conversation that we had, but it was nothing about, any blow up. There was no blow up. There was no me talking about how much money I have. I mean, but I feel like, my teammates, coaching staff, everybody knows me. I'm not perfect. Still working on myself on and off the court, and but this is about that. It's about me getting better and helping these guys, because I promised I would, and I would like to, at least from here on out. I don't care if I'm here for 5 more months or 5 more weeks. I'm going to try to do my best by these guys and by the coaching staff. So that's that's on me. Everybody wants to paint a narrative that I didn't want to be here. I just signed it because it was there. Like, no, I've always wanted to be here. Obviously, I don't know what the next few weeks are going to hold, and this has been a frustrating situation. And I know that this is a team that's rebuilding and wants to go young. So I've accepted that, and like I said, I'm gonna let the chips fall where they may. It's hard, that's why I mentioned the respect, but also the empathetic standpoint. Like, Coach has never given out fines before. Usually, it's like in college, you handle certain things another way. Like, I was super emotional. I didn't feel like I disrupted the team, so I had a little bit of pushback on that, and that's what it was. But he's never done that before, and some of these coaches have never done that before. So that's why I have to know that, hey, this is his first time doing it. And with Kobe as well, he's only been in this job a couple of years, and like I got hurt last year. A number of guys went down. We had a situation kind of like I was like in Minnesota where we had a revolving door. So there's things that he can't control and the front office can't control. So that's where it's really tough. And while we have had disagreements, like we mentioned, like as far as how anything was and talking about that the other day, that was like a 2 out of 10. It was really nothing. So we actually had a pretty good laugh about that. And I think you have to see all sides of it. And I've had to take a step back the last number of years and do that as well. So, seeing things in their entirety when things are bad and things are, kind of not at a place where you want them to be can be super hard. I think that transcends, the basketball court, professional sports, any walk of life. But, I think we can all be better. Can admit where you're wrong and be a man or a woman and admit where you're wrong and admit where you can get better as well as the good things that you've done. I think, I've been at ease. People ask me, hey, are you okay and what's going on? I'm like, I'm good. Like, listen, I showed my actions on a national level that was childish of me, and it just goes to show you, like, we still have, I'm an unfinished product like anybody. That's why I speak to you as Kevin Love, the basketball player, as a human. Like, it's no BS. Like, I just want to be authentic and know, like, obviously I can get a lot better, and that can't go on here, especially when you got young guys that you're trying to help and that I told that I would help. So, I got to be a better leader, but also a better person and somebody who has more often than not, the majority of the time, done the right thing, said the right thing, and shown that I can. But that was not me. So much better with it now. I mean, obviously with a team that thrived under chaos. I've said it a million times. I look up and see the championship banners. There was a lot more attention. But I think so much of I even said it after the game. I'm just thinking, like, so much of the, people remember the accusations, not the rebuttal. So I can sit here and people can say, oh, that's not how it happened, or that's BS, because they believe the first thing they saw, or they believe the headline, and they don't read between the lines. So that's something that I've acknowledged and I understand. I also know that so much of today is, and this is where I see all sides, is like, you guys, it's a 24-hour news cycle. You guys have to have stories, and everybody has their part to play. That's what Flip Saunders taught me early on, is like, you have to just respect everyone and understand that everybody has a part to play. So for me, I understand, like, sometimes the commentary can drive the content, and I think as an athlete and as a person, you just have to be okay with that. So I think that's why I used to have my head down when I first got here, not wanting to talk to you guys, and now I'm up looking you guys in the eye and being human. So that's all I can do.